Hi everyone, this is Open Game Podcast once again. Your host Innocent here as usual, and we have our now they're becoming usual. Let me say that. Twenega Uganda Tagu, we're very much happy to have you here.
But I
So
love
yeah,
to be called Aol. My name is Aol Nancy, and yeah, I don't have titles.
oh, no, what do you do? Like, what are you, who are you except for your
Okay.
name?
My passion is around environmental conservation, so you can call me a woman environmental activist.
Mm-hmm.
And then also my passion also is trying to radiate towards human rights.
Yeah.
So you can call me a woman activist or a gender activist.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that is my
That's
area.
very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are welcome, Nancy, and then hit us up in the comment section. Questions, we have some questions because they are coming back again, over and over again. Going off to Brenda
You always get the name wrong.
this morning.
But it's well.
It's
Thank you so much for having us, Innocent.
mhm.
You said we are becoming regulars. I hope you don't get tired of us.
Why
My
would
name
I?
is Janet Mundua. Those are my official names. But out there on the street, I'm also called Muni and Brenda.
Exactly.
That's for the street. I work with Trainer Girl Uganda,
Mhm.
a girl-focused community-based organization that's entirely focused on trying to remove barriers to girl child empowerment,
Yeah.
be it education, health, and other aspects of life.
Mm-hmm.
Very happy to be here.
Yeah, you guys are welcome here. Today we're going to talk about some hot topics here. One of it is no. Before we go there, it is Africa side. What's
Day
the
of the
name?
African
The Day of the
Child.
African Side. Yeah,
Yes.
I wish we had some poems to give you guys and stuff like that.
She's very good with poems.
Yeah, she
You can
is.
just give her a second and she
Uh,
comes up with a poem.
Not today.
Okay, that will be for another day. That will be for another day. We're going to
Yeah.
have a poem day. Let's kick off with one. Let me say it's quite controversial because a lot of people probably don't have a lot of information about it. Let's talk about defilement.
Mm.
What is defilement? How do you define defilement? Relating it to our locality.
Oh, that's for me? No, you know, like you look in my way and yeah, well, thank you so much, Innocent. Defilement. It's actually a criminal issue that is becoming something that people want to deal with silently.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost becoming a taboo, like one of those things that people don't want to talk about. But defilement is, in simple terms, are an adult or somebody of age are having sexual intercourse with a child or somebody below the age of 18 without consent, because of course we know children below 18 years cannot consent, even if they look big, even if they look mature, but any child that's below the age of 18 is cannot consent for sex. So if a man like yourself, I'm not saying you do, has sex with a girl that is any age below 18,
Yeah.
that is defilement in simple terms. And it's an issue in our Adjumani. It happens almost in every like village that you go to,
Yeah.
and we've come to notice and see that it's something that is becoming silently and like slowly but surely becoming an
Something
accepted
like yeah,
thing,
it's
something
now
that people
becoming
are
a normal
starting to
stuff.
normalize,
Yeah.
which shouldn't be the case. And I hope that from this discussion we can literally come up with ideas, not only expose or create awareness,
Yeah.
but then also come up with action points to
Yeah.
ensuring that this does not become a vice that we
Exactly.
accept and
You
normalize.
don't have to normalize it anymore.
Thank you.
Okay. You talked about it. I just wanted you to elaborate. Does defilement only is it only a term for like a gender or it's
No, not really. And I'm sorry it
because
comes off
a lot
as
of
that.
people like I also didn't know when I was in school and
Yes.
stuff. People here like defilement is like they just think it's maybe a
Mate,
girl being
just girls.
abused alone and stuff like that.
No, and
The
I'm
boys
sorry
also go
I
through
left that
that.
out. Yes, boys as well, because they're children.
Hmm.
If it's a very rare occurrence,
Yeah.
but we cannot
Yeah,
rule out
it's
the
very rare.
fact
Yeah.
that it can actually happen.
Yeah.
So even if a woman like myself 30-year-old gets involved with a 16-year-old or anybody below the age of 18, it's defilement that can
defilement.
still be held accountable.
Yeah.
It's still defilement. And thank you for
Thank you for
bringing that to
clarifying that.
light.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, what do you think qualifies as child marriage under the law of Uganda?
Well, like we described what a child is. A child is, somebody below
18
18 years under the constitution of Uganda, our country.
Mhm.
Now, any marriage or any union that occurs, or whether forcefully or a child just says, me, I've decided I'm of age, I love my 17-year-old boyfriend, like any of that happening, a union between people that are not 18 years over,
Mhm.
or maybe one person is older but the other is less, like one of the two parties is a
Mhm.
child marriage.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to the realities on the ground about this issue of defilement and child marriage. Let's take Adjumani as our sample size,
Okay.
like like sample population. So how is it like how is it so widespread here? Like you guys I think you carry research as Tagu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't really carry out research, but we read, like the literature and stuff.
Okay.
And I would like to invite Nancy to have something to share. Yeah.
Yeah, you're asking in the context of Adjumani,
Yeah.
how widespread this vice is.
Yeah.
I can honestly tell you that it's a serious disease. It's killing people in silence. It's killing the children in silence.
Mhm.
And according to the Daily Monitor, actually, I have some bit of statistics that I got from a publication from Daily Monitor,
Yeah.
and the figures are really alarming.
Mhm.
Um, the figures are saying like 1,474 like girls or young girls attending antenatal care. These are
That's a lot
girls
of
below
numbers.
the
Like that's
age
1,000.
of, yeah, 1,474. So you can imagine these are girls who go for deliveries in the hospital.
And we probably have some who do not go. Those are not accounted for.
Thank you. There are those who give birth probably at home.
Mhm.
So you can imagine 1,000. They're in 1,000.
That's a lot
So
of
the figure
numbers.
is really big.
Mhm.
And this is just a glimpse of what's happening.
What do you think are the drivers to those factors? Like, what drives people to do that?
There are so many drivers to that. First of all, let's look at our culture.
Mm.
Time immemorial, many traditions across this country have been looking at the girl child as a source of wealth,
Mm-hmm.
and it's because of the poverty.
Yeah.
So the girl child is looked at as a source of wealth. So culture, poverty, and also our social life.
Mm.
Like for example, during the COVID period,
Yeah.
we realized that people were so much redundant home because of the lockdown, and the numbers of child marriage shot very
Exactly.
high. They skyrocketed.
Yes.
So that means our social way of living also
Mhm.
contributes our social lives.
Okay.
So, like for Adjumani, you find that most of these social places, um, should I say they are unregulated? They are regulated, but to a certain level.
Just to they are formally regulated, but then when you're there, the regulation you don't
The
see
regulations
them.
are on paper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, but when the regulations are on paper, but when you go to the actualities, you find that honestly, the number of children attending or entering into these social places, especially the disco clubs and what have you, are really high. So it's contributing to these figures.
Yeah. Okay. Do we say the perpetrators of this are the parents of the victims or is it society?
No, well, I'd like to add, still on the issue of drivers.
Mhm.
And, before you get to actually, you got me there and you
Oh,
mentioned
yeah.
parents,
Yeah.
because parental failure is
Yeah.
also one of, of the reasons, because you cannot tell me that parents can let their girls roam around,
Exactly.
or can like be so negligent to ensure that their girls are at home when they should be, because most of them sneak from home
Mm.
to go and like have this sex that should be forbidden.
Yeah.
Most of them leave from home to go to the bars that they shouldn't be at. We have markets, these auction days,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
big markets that happen, and you'd find parents and their children in these spots drinking. Like the markets happen, and then there's music, and then there's
Yeah,
alcohol,
yeah.
and they're all there together. It's a mix up. And then also like drugs, alcohol use, and
Yeah.
substances.
Abuse,
Like
yeah.
alcohol use in this place is not regulated. Kids can actually, I think they start taking alcohol as early as like
Babe.
12 or even less. I don't know. And we all know that when kids are under the influence of alcohol, they can't, even if they are young and they might not be able to discern and make the right choices, it gets worse when alcohol is involved.
Exactly.
So when they're drinking, they get together. It's literally a song about drinking completely with my
Really?
boyfriend, and
Even the
that
policeman.
song, like
Everyone.
kaja kaja something. Like it's something that is celebrated. So you'd find that the factors, the environment just makes it easier for the girls and like boys to engage more in the whole sexual activities and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we see the impacts of this? Like, have we been able to see the impacts of this in the societies right now? Like, let's say, let's take from the COVID period, like how you are saying,
Yeah.
to date. Do we have testimonials from survivors, or maybe you've seen something in the communities that is being a direct impact of negligence coming from this?
Yeah, there are so many negative effects from this kind of thing. The first one is there is high rate of the girl child dropping out of school. That is very evident.
Yeah.
You mentioned COVID. Still, it's a post-COVID effect, and
Yeah.
it all happened within that period. And I can't say it has stopped, but many girls got pregnant, and there was even an initiative by government to say that even the pregnant girls should go back to school,
Back to
right?
school,
Re-entry.
yeah, I remember
Yes.
that.
So one of that is school dropout. Because earlier on, when Mandua was making a presentation, she did mention that sometimes these young girls and boys can make a wrong decision to get into marriage. These are, they call them child marriages, because sometimes you find a girl child and a boy child making a decision to get married,
Yeah.
and both of them definitely will drop out of school,
Mm-hmm.
and they cannot continue because now they are bringing another child. Amidst
Yeah,
them,
they're also
they're
children.
they're also children, and they're having another child.
So there'll be
And
3 children at
and of
home.
course, sometimes in our different homes, because of the culture and norms that we have, they say now, maybe I say this in Mali, like you're showing that you're a man, so stand up for your decisions. So you find that this boy and this girl end up not going back to school; they drop out, and this is particularly for the young girls who get pregnant when their bodies are not ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of them have lost their lives. It's very sad that
During birth.
during birth, or even trying to terminate these pregnancies. We all know that abortion is very, very illegal.
Risky
And
as
there was
well.
a time you made some statement that is the point where you say that you wished government legalizes
Yeah.
abortion.
So that people go right in the right way.
Yeah,
to do
because
it,
we
or-
lose a lot of girls trying to, not even just girls. I think in the year that Strabag started, there was a 28-year-old woman that died from post-abortive sepsis. 28.
So-
Now, if a 28-year-old still, like has that amount of risk, they cannot access, like this is not, I'm not trying to, like advocate for something that's
Exactly,
illegal,
yeah.
but the risks are so high, and we get cases of adolescent girls engaging in some very, very crude methods of trying to terminate
Very
pregnancies
rudimentary
when
methods,
they are,
because they don't want the parents to see.
they don't want the parents to see, but at the end of the day, the parents find out. In my practice of health practice, I have encountered about 6 girls that have come in a state that is like terrible. Like the cases, one, and very weird things, by the way, that I had never heard of. Like there's a 16-year-old that tried to commit, they actually succeeded because they came in with bleeding, incomplete abortion. But what they used was matchsticks. Or they dissolved matchsticks of 1,000. Actually, Googled it that same time, and what she said was her colleague. This is P6.
How does that
Her
work?
colleague told her that matchsticks work. So that means this is something that had been done.
Wow.
This is in Adjumani. It's
have
not
never-
even verified.
I never heard
know
about that.
you're shocked about
I'm
it,
very shocked.
and there are more
Right?
crude methods. People,
That's
some girls stick sticks inside of themselves. Others overdose on some of these other, like
Yeah.
drugs. So it is really a sad state going on there. You'd have mothers walking and beg and say, okay, I am dead. But then what I would like to note also is the fact that when defilement and child marriage are going hand in hand, because when defilement happens in our community, most parents see that as leeway to marry off their children. They don't try to, deal with it like they should, support the child through pregnancy, then take her back to school. When it happens, sometimes even before police is engaged, they've already
The finished.
gone ahead and
With
sent
their
a letter
family.
to the family.
Yeah.
They coerce the girl to tell them who is the owner of the pregnancy, and then they make contact with the rest of the family. So you just see now parents sitting to deal with an issue that should be a legal issue. And some of them even go to police to get the police form just to use it as leverage, like
Okay.
to scare,
Going that way, like, do we have specific laws that are against that? Like I'm sure there are laws.
Yeah.
But why is it still happening? If there are laws.
What is still happening?
The
interference or the
Defilement,
defilement?
the child marriages, because we talked about poverty as being cause of that, and what
Yeah.
you talked about right now, parents giving out is directly like a result of poverty, maybe poverty or a poor homeless.
Yeah.
So
We're talking about policies and laws. Actually, if you have a copy of the constitution of this country, you find that Uganda has the best
laws,
the best laws
policies.
on the land.
Yeah.
Our biggest challenge with our laws and policies
Enforcing.
is enforcement. The people who are mandated to enforce, I don't know, somehow they get compromised along the way.
Yeah.
As if there is a power beyond the power that they were given, and they listen to that power above.
The power is money.
Thank you.
It's bribery. Like someone pays you like 20K and then someone changes.
Yes, just
Yeah.
like she said that sometimes we find parents, they know pretty well that their daughter has actually been defiled or raped or whatever, or they will sit on a round table. I have gotten frustrated, and I sit back because she's one of my mental health experts, and
you're a therapist.
I therapist. Thank you. I've sat back and said, okay, my therapist has told me my mental health matters. I sit back and let the case go. Just like I told you that I like advocating for human rights.
Yeah.
But that is one of the most frustrating cases to follow in this town.
Yeah.
Because you will follow the case, you'll want to follow the case up to its logical conclusion, but trust me, you will get very, very frustrated. Recently, we were following a case of a 16-year-old girl who was defiled.
Yeah.
And then, by the look from the mother's face, I even asked her, because we wanted to save this girl. For them, they said it was a defilement, and we wanted to save and see if we could put her on PEP.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I looked at the girl, I looked at the mother, the face was speaking to me. Then I asked the mother, don't you think we are wasting this PEP? Do you think this is the first time your daughter is going through this? And honestly, my imagination was confirmed after tests were run, and then the girl was found to be 3 months pregnant?
Yeah.
That's
So
unbelievable. Right? And she was staying with the parents?
yeah, and then we started following up this case. The guy was arrested. Now the frustration came when the grandparents of this girl came, and then I think they had a round table talk, because even the suspect was actually, he stayed like 3 weeks at the police custody. Like Our laws say
20
that
48
hours
Or you either go home on day or you go on remand.
on remand straight.
Exactly.
But what the hell was
3
the guy
weeks.
still doing at police?
He was paying rent in police.
You get it?
Yeah.
Get it? That's
So
unfortunate.
we find the mother and then we ask her how far, and then she was like, that case died. As an
That's the mother.
activist, what you do, you don't have the mandate to become the complainant in that case.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're only trying to see that justice prevails. But the parents of the child are saying otherwise. So we have the best laws, but we get
Enforcement,
compromised.
yeah.
And enforcement, actually not enforcement, we just get compromised because
Exactly.
the enforcers know what they're supposed to do. But then the God that we all respect, which is money, money is like God these days.
The God on earth.
Yeah, the God on
It's
earth.
something more than money.
Yes.
Integrity should be more than.
That's okay. I'm going back to. I'm sorry. I'm so used to calling you Brenda.
No, it's okay. It's
Going back to
allowed.
Brenda, and you talked about wanting at least the government to maybe legalize
Abortion.
abortion stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you gave your reasons, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I want to ask you: don't you think it will be very rampant? People just because it's now accessible, the services, people will be used to abortion,
You
or
know,
they will just want to get used to it. And then once that take the rate of unprotected sex up, and then that comes up to STDs and all
there
this.
are two sides to the coin. I remember a time Honorable Tayebwa passed the motion that they will not allow um, contraceptives for teenage girls. It was immediately after COVID and the COVID aftermath, and a lot of girls had like dropped out of school, and like that seems feasible. There are religious roles, there's morality, like people are trying to protect their whole like image and beliefs, but refusing to offer contraceptives to teenage girls who are actively having sex does not rule out the fact that they're having sex. These kids, some of them have more sex than adults.
That's true.
And that's a fact. So just because we refuse to accept the facts before us does not mean that
It's not
something
happening.
different is happening. Yeah.
Exactly.
So similarly, if people were to put together the data on the unsafe abortions that happen out there, the number of teenage girls or mothers that we lose, I perhaps there are people that would just shut down like the idea even before you share it. But personally, I believe it would be better to have our girls able to like live through like life, if that is accessible, instead of them swallowing 1,000 matchsticks, instead of them like injuring and their cervix, trying to physically and crudely like get rid of the pregnancy, instead of them dying in labor because they're too young to hold it. Like, I believe that really wouldn't, because much as we say it is illegal, it is still happening.
Actually, when something is illegal, it tends to happen more.
Yeah, like look at what Adam
Yeah.
did when they say
Drugs.
Look at
It goes into the black
don't
market.
put
Exactly.
the look at the drugs. Look at, I don't know. There's just something about, I think, forbidden thing that does not
Anything that is
excuse.
illegal will want to make
Finds
a
its
human
way,
find
yes.
ways.
It finds its way in the black market.
Exactly, it doesn't really exclude, but it happens. So for me, that's really where I come from.
Okay.
When I say they should perhaps legalize, just like they should make contraceptives available to the sexually active teenage girls, even if they're because it will save you. Like, what difference does it make to say no, they are too young? When we give them these contraceptives, we're encouraging them to have sex. They're already having sex, right? So if you give them, so what happens? That you want them to have the sex, then they get pregnant, and then you come and say, abortion is illegal, and they would try it. You get? So sometimes we are shooting ourselves in the foot with the policies that we're putting across.
Okay, since TAGU, Twenega Uganda is a youth-run organization.
Yeah.
Youth-run and youth-led. What do you think of the roles of the youth in this, in trying to curb this, in trying to stop this in the communities? What should the youth do, since it's affecting the youth? This is the youth.
Yeah. Well, information I believe the youth should get involved. For example, I'll tell you, we talk about the illegal. I'm just trying to look like I am advocating for abortion.
No, no, no.
Yeah, but there is information. I know we have policies and laws that guide,
Yeah.
but there are cases where abortion is legal. It's there are stipulations in our
Health, maybe
There are
yes,
clauses
yeah,
down
that
there
clauses that
when it's related to
it,
life
it
and death.
contradicts yeah when the mother's life is at
is at
risk.
risk.
There's also it's a bit weak, but then it also in some cases it works. It contradicts. You have the constitution saying something else, and then this policy saying something else. But in cases of rape, of cases of incest, in cases of endangering the pregnancy, being a danger to the mother, it is legal to do this. Now, imagine a scenario like that happens and people don't have this knowledge.
Exactly.
So I believe when the youth need to empower themselves with knowledge and also share the knowledge that they have.
Exactly.
And then secondly, they need to be the initial custodians of their own health, like take care of themselves. There are very many services that are now available. I think the ministry and the country has prioritized adolescent health.
Yeah.
There's integrated services to make sure they've tried to make health services youth friendly. So if the youth can advocate that these are available in all the facilities, not just a few, selected few. If they participate in seeking these services, they hold their leaders accountable because we have youth leaders, right, that represent and their voices are loud. They could advocate and also represent the youth, like not just at
They're actually
election
running
time.
down right now, up and
I know
down
they're
for
running
elections and stuff
for
like that.
elections, but they should
I
do
believe,
more than just that, because they have platforms where their voices could change the narrative and influence policies. So I personally believe they look at Kenya. I'm not inciting violence, but the youths in Kenya are changing the story.
Gen Z.
So so the youth have more power than they think they do. When we see these issues happening, someone has defiled a girl, and you're in the neighborhood, this is a 12, 14-year-old girl, and the family is sitting to marry off this girl. As a youth, you can speak up.
They used to say when we were growing up, they used to say, you are a community's child, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But these days it's pretty much one plate for one person, so it's your parents' child.
Yeah.
So I see that happening a lot in communities. You find something wrong, like some kid doing something.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, they whoop you.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah, we
parent will hear
belonged
later.
we belonged to the society.
Exactly.
It's
But these
different
days,
now.
you touch someone's child, you get a call from police or something.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that.
I still shout at kids when I meet them. When I see kids playing in the road, I stop and tell them, I will beat you. Like, of course,
you
I
will
wouldn't
not beat
catch you.
them.
No, but if they insisted, I think I would actually whoop someone's child and tell the parent, come to me, I'll tell you what your child is doing. I feel like, I don't know what happened. Beating is bad and all that, but we need to really, like,
That's how laws. If you did that, the law will catch up with you.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
wouldn't.
That's the
You've
problem.
inflicted pain,
Pain.
No,
torture, or
no.
something.
If I pull you out of the road or hold your hand tight, pull you out of the road, you're not bleeding. I've not beaten you. I've not done anything. I've scolded you.
Okay.
You're not going to do it again. But right now, we can't even do that. I feel like sometimes we take these things the wrong way. Like in Uganda, they say tuchisusa, like overdo. We are overdoing these things. Yes. So we need to get back to the basics and, because it's important. These children belong to the community.
Okay. We've had a great discussion here. A very great one, but I have enjoyed this so much. Let me get your action points. Just a brief something like that. Let me start from Mr. O.
Action points on like
what we talk about. What do you think? So be the outlines of what someone could grasp out there.
You see, we can't run away from the fact that we have survivors. We have child mothers who have maneuvered through all this, and they are doing well.
Yeah.
So we can really use those girls as champions, like to encourage others. I
As
think they're called
ambassadors.
peer support, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. That's one of the things that we really need to look at,
Yeah.
and they can encourage, because a child can learn easily from another
Another,
child.
or
Yes,
from another child.
like yes, because if I were like a mother who got into marriage at a tender age, I'll tell my story and then the other person would fit into my shoes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, so we can use that kind of peer support. That is one of the things that we can do. And I think maybe the civil society, the stakeholders, the different stakeholders in their different capacities, they have to really increase. I know sensitization has been done,
Yeah.
but it needs to continuously be told.
Yeah.
Imagine 2,000 years after Jesus, we're still preaching the gospel.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
Let people
So
don't want to preach what was signed into
So
Constitution
we
10
should
years ago.
continue
yeah.
preaching the gospel, and we should not cease. We
Okay.
should preach it as if we never preached it before,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and tell people the wrongs. And then we should also advocate for change in culture. I know some people will say that culture doesn't change, but culture can never be static.
Yeah.
Culture is dynamic, it changes, and that's why you find now me and my sister here are cross-legged and
Oh.
able to talk,
I didn't think about
and they're able to talk.
Good.
Culture is changing.
which wasn't the case before.
Yes, I'm in
Yeah.
a trouser,
Yeah.
which is biblically condemned, that women will not wear a man's clothes.
Exactly.
But we are in a culture right now where you see a number of women wearing, I mean,
Of course, we have a lot of unisex
yes.
clothes.
So we need to change some of these cultures. We know an empowered girl or an empowered woman can contribute a lot to development. So if we give out our girls at a tender age, just imagine if you had educated that girl, she becomes an engineer or a doctor, a teacher, a nurse,
software engineer.
probably she becomes a journalist, she becomes an activist. How much more would she have contributed to the development of your family and your welfare as the mother or father than when you give her away when she's raw? You understand? So those are a few of the action points that we really need to take in seriously.
Okay. Thank you so much for this.
Awesome.
Going to Mondoa.
Glad you
Since
mentioned that,
since
right?
since I'm talking to you about Tagu,
Yeah.
can we get can the people know what help Tagu can give them? Do we have helplines or stuff like that? If can people reach you for
Yeah.
emotional or some help? And
Yeah,
stuff like
people can reach us for information, for starters. And then we do not have any rehabilitative services for survivors, but we do offer counseling services. And we have information, a lot of information. We do awareness sessions for the youth. We are still working on starting a hub within the town council, because most of our sessions are unfortunately in the settlements, and one in Murray. But we are working on really giving back to the community, because we are a community-based organization, like coming home, because this is where most of the youths come eat their money when they make it. It's where December collects all the remnants of this place, so we cannot avoid these spaces. And I also, well, in conclusion, or as an action, a call to action, one of the things that I really feel we need to prioritize is, like she said, continuing to preach, but then also getting clear on what the roles of the different actors are. Like the community has a role to play, family has a role to play. The parents are failing us very, very much, very, very much. In our times when we were raised, I believe our parents were the last parents to do things the right way.
Exactly.
And I don't really blame the parents currently much, but I feel like they are overwhelmed, and technology is too much. Even when they try, there are very many of these things happening and they can't keep up. But I feel like they've really, really neglected children a lot. They've left them. I don't know if it's just for Adjumani. This is not where I was raised, but it's too much. It's too much. So we might come up with interventions that keep girls in school, that tell them about their, like their health, career guidance sessions. But if they come back home and they are allowed to access alcohol and substances, they are allowed to have phones and make plans and meet up, get exposed to pornography, go to the local bars, and they don't have any restrictions, like all that kind of stuff, then we are lagging behind. If we have parents that are not teaching their children at the basics, the value of education, the value of, self-respect, honoring their bodies, even just, like religion somehow plays a role in keeping people moral. If we don't have that, if we don't have organized homes and families raising children right, then we are at a loss, and we cannot do that. We can't do magic with a broken system that has broken from the community. But then also, I feel like the policies that have been put in place really have to be enforced. These markets and people drinking and playing music all night, there should be restrictions that, say at this point at 6, the markets are okay, but at 6, any child below this age go home, shouldn't be here, and they enforce it as much as there is money. Then lastly, like she said, the survivors, of course, we try to mitigate, but there cases that have happened are defilement, they're child mothers, they are forced marriages that have happened. When we rescue these people, or when somehow the law comes into play and these people are rescued, there should be, the re-entry programs should be embraced. These kids have given birth, they should be supported by families, by the community. The stigma should not come from home, where they should be, and then the schools also should accept them, to support them, give them second chances. Because as much as we preach some of these things, we might not stop them, but when they happen and we have ways to, solve them, everyone should come together and support. Because at the end of the day, educated and empowered girls and children generally are the future of tomorrow. If we sit back and do nothing,
The mothers of the nation.
they're the mothers and they're the future. We might say they're not my children, but they will marry our children. So basically, for me, I feel like we need to get back to what our responsibilities are and do the part.
Okay. Thank you so much for those brief but elaborate points. Two of you, those action points have been so good. And then I've been so grateful. Like, I'm saying this for the third time today.
Thank you.
I've had a good conversation. Thank you. This has been Twenega Uganda, and my guest, Twenega Uganda, is not a person, it's not people, it's an organization. My guest today have been Nancy, and then Mundoa,
Janet.
Brenda, Moni, Janet, a lot of names.
Wow.
You'll be hearing back from us again. Not hearing, but then you'll be watching us time to time. This will be coming to your screens. Thank you so much, and give us some comments. This has been Open Game Podcast. Like, subscribe, share this, so that this information goes to all the youth. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.